Guys, I am here today with one of our favorite CPAs on the planet, Mr. Stephan Silva, and we just want to touch on a couple of important tax things as we're into fourth quarter of the year, which feels crazy. I heard somebody say 12 weeks till Christmas, and that might have even been last week. And I went, oh, wow, time just goes. So hi.
Hey, Janelle, it's nice to be here. And by the way, I thought I was the only CPA you know, but apparently he is. But I'm glad to know that I'm one of your favorites, though.
Yeah, there's a handful of good ones out there running around. There's some that are kind of rogue, and then some that kind of bounce off planet for a while during the year, I feel like. And it's well deserved. Being a CPA, there's a very short crunch season of work. Sure. So I had just stumbled upon and I spoke with one of our owners today who owns a ton of companies. And one thing that he mentioned is that he just did some tax planning for his own self and decided to pay his kids. Can you talk about that a little bit and why there would be any tax benefit to that?
Sure. Now that's definitely something that we incorporate with our tax planning, which, by the way, like you mentioned before, fourth quarter, definitely a crucial time to be able to get in on this. Ideally, you want to be able to be tax planning all throughout the year, but there are things that you can still do here in the fourth quarter that you want to be able to get in before the end of the year, as your options become severely limited after the end of the tax year. But that being said, we do approach everything holistically. We not only do the business tax planning, we also do the personal tax planning, try and tie in and just get a really holistic view of your tax situation in these cases. One of the strategies being paying a child within your business. Now, the thing that a lot of business owners don't understand is that there are tax cases, tax rules, things that you have to abide by. Make sure you line up. Things are done with legitimate purposes, documented properly, executed properly. And at the end of the day, not only knowing that you're saving taxes, but in what form you're saving them. And that's what we put into our tax packages. Just not only the numbers, but also the explanations behind it and how to execute it all properly.
Yeah, and there are some I won't get into too many specifics, but there are benefits for not only your business income and then reducing your personal, depending on how your business is set up, but even just the long-term taxability of whatever happens with that money. There's some ways you can invest it for your kids and be I don't know, a Roth IRA is a pretty commonly known one. But you need somebody to help you navigate that to make sure you're doing it the smartest way possible. So I'm going to throw it out there that you know a lot about it. And if they're interested in having a deeper conversation, they should definitely hit you up well before the end of the year, because they'll want to plan to have the money to use for that, right? And then also just to have time to think it through, get educated, and make really solid decisions. So I love that. And also for themselves, right? There are retirement things you can do for yourself in planning for that if you're a younger business owner. What else? Anything else that's top of mind for you?
Yeah, we actually have so many different options. And you mentioned about retirement. What people don't realize that sometimes you're capped out on the personal front, but as business owners, as many of your clients are, actually, if not all of them, there's definitely options for businesses, and we can just navigate and just kind of tinker around with what your numbers would look like depending on what you're willing to do. And sometimes you can even combine different sorts of plans to maximize on those savings. So now is definitely a time to do it. I wouldn't wait. I've actually had quite a bit of clients just come within the past month, just eager to be able to execute these strategies, knowing that they're out there. And you just don't want to leave money at the table. I think that's the most important thing. You might think, oh, I'm not the type of client that can execute tax planning or anything. In reality, you want to at least have a conversation, and we can have a one-to-one, and I can let you know where you stand as of today and just offer some options. And you don't know what you don't know until you've had that discussion.
I love that. And the key word that I keep hearing you say, and that I know I'm saying, is plan. Whenever I talk about our bookkeeping and why it's important to a client who doesn't have it, it's because I want that intentionality. Our goal is that all of the money that it's very hard to earn a business. And I'll say it all the time. It's like you get kicked in the face and then you get up and do it again. And that's owning a business. So if that's you, we know that money was hard fought and we want to keep as much of it intentionally in your pocket as we can. So that's our goal. We're going to have in the comments how to book a meeting with Stephan so that you can get rolling on things. And if you already have a CPA you like, know, and trust, definitely hit them up. We love that Stephan is here for our clients, but it's not exclusive. It should be maybe, huh? But definitely if you have a CPA that you've already worked with, Stephan would still like to meet with you and just kick around some options. He might know some things your guy doesn't, and that's totally okay.
Definitely. There's definitely wisdom and an abundance of advisors. So I would definitely recommend just getting the information wherever you can, especially from seasoned professionals.
Yeah. And I know last year you were busy, so definitely you've been through the mill and it's coming again. All right. Well, thanks for your time, and we'll be filling up your calendar.
Great. Sounds great. Thank you for having me.